how to get that light out, preacher.
It's all right.
Greece took over the world about 600 BC under Alexander the Great. Some of y'all may have heard of him, some of y'all didn't. They had a movie out about it. He was a very good leader, and he spread this thing called Macedonianism, which was the temple of Greece, all the way around the world. The Greeks brought the building of temples to worship their gods. Some of those temples are still in existence today. The one you're looking at there on the screen is called Pantheon, which is the temple of Athena. Athena is the great goddess that's still around today, but you know her by another name, which I'll reveal to you in a minute. But Athena is where you get the term Athens. Athens is where the Olympics came from, when the person ran 25 miles from Sparta. Some of y'all remember the movie 300? Mm-hmm. That was Sparta. Ran from Sparta to Greece to let the Athens know they surrendered, you don't need to fight. That 26-mile run is, I'm sorry, not Sparta, from marathon. That's why it's called a marathon. He ran 26.3 miles non-stop to let the king know, don't fight, the war was over, and he died in the process of running. That run happened 2,800 years ago, and it's now called the marathon because he ran from Marathon to Athens. And it's a part of the Olympics because the Olympics is a serving of a god that occurred in Olympia. Now, let me get your mind around something. What's the name of the book that we're reading from right now? What book did I say y'all go to?
Ephesians.
Interesting. I picked that because that's where the spiritual wickedness was revealed. But that's not why Paul put it there. Paul put it there because something else was revealed. Ephesus was the headquarters of the Greek gods. He was speaking about spiritual wickedness in the very center where what you call Greek mythology came from. But there's something about this mythology that's going to mess with you a little bit. Paganism is still in society today. Anybody recognize this?
God of Wars.
God. Anybody that plays PS2, PS3 back, this may be before your time, but this is now old. But this is a game I played quite a bit, about 5 years ago. Was really into it. His name is Kratos. He's a son of a Greek god, where you come from these mythology names. The thing that's funny about it is that when I looked at the game after I got into it, I started doing my research on it. And I'm going to explain what my research was in a couple of minutes, but I want you to catch, this is a very popular game, sold millions and millions. Anybody recognize her?
Wonder Woman.
Interesting. Wonder Woman. Who y'all call Wonder Woman? Do you know what her name is when it's not Wonder Woman? Diana.
Yeah.
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. Interesting. Diana's real name in Greek is Athena. When she prays, she don't say, Holy Jesus. She don't say, oh my God. She says, Great God of Hera, who's her mother. Because Hera is also in Greek mythology. This is the one I wanted to spend time on.
Toulouse.
This is Kratos' sister. But you wouldn't know that because you can't look at her by this symbol. But I can tell you what her real name is. Her real name is Nike. Nike is not a shoe. It's the name of a shoe. But Nike is a Greek goddess meaning victory. It's the name of the person who holds the laurel wreath. If I pull up Nike, goddess Nike, it will show a woman with that laurel wreath that you get when you are what? In the Olympics. Olympics came from Greece. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been practicing what we call mythology and not knowing it. But it's worse than that, because it's not mythology. Here is the mystery of the Greek gods. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 5 copies. I apologize about that for the children. Y'all may have to share. But I want you to listen to some of these things that we've got from Greek religion. This last one right here, this last picture, this one is called the Delphi, the Oracle of Delphi, which means nothing to you. You were cleaning up my props. You see my t-shirt?
Oh, yeah, we had it on the check.
Yeah, I had that on purpose. That was part of my lesson.
Okay.
The t-shirt and the shoes underneath the bed were part of the lesson. The great oracle Delphi is the oracle that every fraternity and sorority go to the altar of. The last one. Nobody in my fraternity has ever seen this picture, I doubt. If it hasn't, very few of them will still be a part of it. As of today, I'm going to prove to you how serious it is for me in just 1 minute. But the Oracle of Delphi is a person, when you see the word oracle, that means like a prophet. That means that people literally go to this person and worship. When I pledged my fraternity, I had to pledge on the Oracle of Delphi, not knowing what they were talking about. Thank you. I have such a beautiful, wonderful wife. She makes sure I'm covered from head to toe.
How do you spell Delphi?
Delphi is spelled D-E-L-P-H-I.
Okay, that's what
Uh-oh, not this shirt. This wasn't a shirt. It was a Kappa shirt.
I could do a dirty coat. You want an alphabet?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's Delphi right
That's Delphi. While you're writing that down, let's go to this. Anybody know why they put a swoosh?
Delphi.
I'm going back to Nike while I'm waiting on the shirt to come. Anybody know why they put a swoosh?
Victory. Victory.
That's a good one. It's actually the wings of the angel.
Wait, what?
It's actually the wings of the angel. Everything they do is called air. It's not because Jordan was flying. They were using air before Jordan got his name on his shoes. Air was attached to Jordan. Jordan wasn't attached to air. The air came out because air represents higher power of victory. This is something you could research on your own. We can go to the name Nike right now, the goddess of Nike, and it will show you all these images. This is the only one that was able to get to fit into this square. But they have so many different ones with her, a female, with wings, flying with a wreath. Nike is the #1 shoe, not even close. People have died over a pair of shoes. In the book, the Holy Spirit, I'm trying my best to keep myself together. In Ephesians, it said to put on the whole armor of God. It talks about the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, the belt of truth. Wonder Woman had a belt.
Yeah.
And what was it supposed to do? Make you tell the
Truth.
Oh, come on, I'm trying to work with y'all for a minute. I want y'all to catch what I'm doing.
It's the lasso of victory.
And he said, have your feet shod with the preparation of peace, not Nike.
We got all the wrong ones on.
So if I get you focused on the thing, you're going to miss the purpose, which is why it was in the book of Ephesians to begin with. Your armor was set up to fight the very gods that's behind it, because those are not mythological gods. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the demonic spirits that are in charge. Look at the head of the gods on the whole chart. What does it say? What's the main name on your spirits? Who's the head of all these gods?
Chaos.
What? Who?
Chaos.
Chaos.
Confusion.
Maxwell Smart.
Definition of chaos.
Confusion, right?
Darkness intended to confuse. He's the head of the whole guards. Spiritual witness of darkness in high places. Greek mythology, high places. What you're seeing is already been here. It was a revelation of the spirits that were occurring at that time in the center of the spirits.
Hmm.
So do you think these Nike corporations are aware of that? Or you think-
Of course they are. They're not aware. They just know that they're super profitable. They're super profitable. We find the reason why I brought this here is because as of today, this will be the last day this shirt will ever be worn. Or actually, it will never be worn again. Because these letters are called Greek fraternity. These are Greek letters. They're called Greek organization. Kappa Alpha Psi is the Greek letters. We were taught Greek letters when we pledged fraternity. And if we didn't know them, you couldn't cross the sands until the Delphic, the Oracle of Delphi. You had to cross burning sands into the Greek letter organization. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Nu, Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega. We had to recognize that back 36 years ago.
Wow.
In order for you, I had to know the Greek alphabet better than I did the alphabet.
So let me ask you something. Does that symbol on that shirt mean something? Does that look
The symbol,
that fork?
that's a psi.
They look quite-
It's not a fork. It's a psi. It's a Greek letter.
Is
It
it
had-
meaning behind that?
There's a meaning behind the real fork, but this is not a real fork. This is just a psi. It's just a symbol. Itself is not the actual fork, but you're not far from the truth.
Yeah.
But the word psi, all these are just Greek letters. But the key word is Greek letters. Greek letters to worship a
Greek God.
the last picture. That's Delphi. Every black fraternity, every white fraternity, all stand for Greek letters. Phi Chi Psi Omega, Omega Psi Phi, Kappa Alpha Psi, Alpha Phi Alpha, Sigma Chi Alpha. Everything is Greek letters because they have to be Greek letters to be a secret society pledging to a shrine.
AKA as well?
AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Wow.
Delta.
So are the founders?
Delta Sigma Theta.
Are the founders?
No, of course the
Do
founders
they have
didn't.
some Greece
The founders have
background?
nothing to do with it. When these organizations started, they had no idea.
They just
They just did.
They just followed mythology thinking,
Yeah.
hey, this is just a way to be able to hang out with our brothers. Hey, what's up? It was a tradition that was passed on for generations, and when it finally got to America, we accepted it as it was and didn't know the basis of where it came
That's
from.
what I'm saying. It had to start from somewhere
It did start somewhere.
and passed on down.
Absolutely.
And some people might have got a different interpretation of it, but didn't know the real truth.
Did
behind
not
it.
know the reason
Real
why.
truth behind it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because if you knew the spirit behind it,
Yeah.
you wouldn't enjoy it.
Wow.
When you get ready, honey, you bring scissors. This is gone. I'm not telling y'all to put away your Nike shoes. What I'm telling you is the focus is to get you to buy something that has a complete opposite worship. People who wear Nike shoes are considered arrogant because they consider themselves to be higher than. So you more Look, you know, when people walk in school, the first thing they do is look at your butt.
Shoes.
They got some new ones coming out too.
And as soon as some new Jordans drop, before they even get the truck to the store, they have a line out the... You never wondered why that was the case? They don't do that with Adidas. They don't do that with Converse. Back in the 80s, Converse was the shoe.
Yep.
If you didn't have what they would call Chuck Taylor,
Chuck
some of y'all don't
Taylor.
even know who that is. Chuck Taylor was a basketball player in the 50s. He was Michael Jordan at that time. Chuck Taylor's was the shoe. But nobody fought over a Chuck Taylor. Did nobody get killed over Chuck Taylor? There weren't lines out the door the week before Chuck Taylor came up. Did nobody come and snatch Chuck Taylors off your feet and beat you up? That didn't happen because it was just a shoe. I hope this is helping somebody. You still in Greece.
I'm texting AKA right now. I'm just playing.
Must be your wife.
We're still talking about Greek influence in the church. Greek influence in the church. Greek is where the word Greek tragedy came from. It was an influential form of drama that performed in theaters. Greek is where theaters came from. Prior to Greek, they did not have a group of people who would sit around and watch a performance. So, watch this. Theaters came from Greek. Colosseums. Before the Romans built Colosseums, Greeks
The Greeks
did.
did.
That's why they were the ones to perform the Olympics. Greeks were the first one to watch people get killed for sport. They had Roman gladiators, but they also had Greek gladiators. But Roman gladiators were even worse. But the point was, these were plays put on. Y'all, please follow with me. I'm not going to preach on Dionysus today because that's going to take more time to explain, but this was another mythological spirit. We don't call them gods after today. This was another spirit that they had a festival of, and during that festival, they would do these so-called tragedy plays. Tragedy plays, if you don't know no better, means that somebody's going to die. And if it was, the more tragic it was, the more applause it got. Whoop, fast forward to Skype, Twitter, Facebook. You now have Facebook Live where people are putting on camera some of the most vile and grossest things, and people are viewing them in the millions. In fact, the more violent it is, the more hits it gets. That didn't come because of Facebook. That came because of the spirit of Dionysus. These tragedies were occurring, and look at what the prize was. At the end of it, they had a competition on who had the most tragic play. You know what the winner got? A goat. Do you know what a goat's a symbol of? The devil. That's where the horns come from with the face. That's what this is. It's the spirit symbol of the goat.
Goat.
But people use that to say call me, you know, so. all
That
while
is
they
call
use
me.
it.
But that is call me. But that's the goat.
Oh, you talking about the horns thing?
The horns.
Yeah.
The horns come from a goat.
Goat.
Because see, Christ was a lamb. Lambs and goats look very similar, but they have different meanings. A lamb is sacrificed for your life, but they would also sacrifice a young goat.
That's what I was just about to say. Didn't they sacrifice?
They did sacrifice young goats as well because they couldn't afford a lamb. But goats, by definition, in the spirit realm, a goat means Satan, which is where the name Mephistopheles came from. The picture of Satan is described as a horned man with a tail. Well, that was done because it's a picture of a man that's also half goat.
Can I ask you something? You know, I can.
Lambs have bushy tails. Goats have a long tail.
tail.
You know, what was it? The angels were coming through that town, and they had to sacrifice and put blood on the door to be covered.
Yes.
Was that a goat?
It was goat and lamb.
Oh, it was.
It was both. It said, take you a male, a lamb, or goat.
I thought I remember that. Okay. Why you speaking of goat?
here. So, this is the basis for your modern day movies and plays. Greek tragedy was written by Greece, and it's the formation of horror movies today. I told you this is one I needed recorded. Now, I'm still not through. During this time, a very popular, not during this time, but in the 1600s, a popular playwright began to take Greek plays and translate them into English. Greek plays and translate them into English. His name was William Shakespeare. He was an English playwright who made many plays which are still performed today. Folks come from thousands of miles to Oregon and other places to watch these plays that were called tragedy plays written during Greek time. But this one's going to hit y'all. This is the one that I want you to pause for effect.
Mr. T,
Yes.
why does it say that in the year which Shakespeare, the other one, it said, the goat was a prize given for the best tragedy, but it says the choruses were dressed in a loin skin of goat. Why?
Right. Choruses, by that means that the people who were actually doing parts of the play, they'd have people dressed as a lion and a goat in the play. And that's where you saw all those masks. Because I had y'all here, I don't want to put the mask on because the enemy would try to mess with y'all and bring spirit of fear, because those masks are still called the mask of tragedy even today. Where you see the sad face mask, that came from that period.
I'm not scared.
The mask that show like people are crying. The white mask, like the mask. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The very powerful movie that came back out in the early 90s that they did 4 sequels of. Not Jason. Not Freddy either. One other one. Not Michael.
Chucky.
Chucky.
Chainsaw.
With the knife
Chucky.
and
Chucky.
the mask.
Texas
It's not Chucky.
I don't know that.
Halloween? That's Freddy.
Scream.
Oh, I ain't watching none of that. That's too.
You
Scream.
said the 90s. That's
Scream came out, it started in the 90s. sir.
Yeah.
the silly movie.
The first one. Scream with the mask came out, started in the 90s,
Oh
sir.
yeah, that is a funny little man.
Now, you talk about maybe the people who did the satire of Scream. But Scream, they had those masks. That's a tragedy mask that Scream has.
You know they be riding on their bikes with the masks on, going to the stores and stuff.
Absolutely. It was
Yeah,
also
I've
the
seen
substance
it.
of where the
I've
clowns
seen it.
start putting on the same
That's what I
mask.
was just about to say.
Because it's a mask of tragedy that came from Greek influence.
Yeah, they had them in this school. Clowns been spotted everywhere.
The spirit of Dionysus. It's an actual demon in high places.
Some people be working for demons and don't even know it.
Of course.
Thinking it's fun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got
Now we got the next one. Now, which is something that's going to be a little bit controversial, but it's fact. Your Bible. This is why I wanted my Bible, so I could actually show it to you, because it's in my Bible. It's called the Authorized Version of King James. The Bible was written in primarily 2 languages, Hebrew and Greek.
Greek.
We're in the Greek translation. The person who translated the Bible to English was known as King Arthur, but King Arthur didn't do the translation. King Arthur was not that bright. If you read about, not King Arthur, King James, excuse me, thank you, Lord. King James was not that bright. He existed during the 1600s. William Shakespeare, who lived from 1564 to 1616, he was one of the people who actually helped write the Bible. The very person who was known for writing tragedy plays also wrote part of your Old Testament, dealing with Psalms and Proverbs. That's why Psalms has so many flowery words, because a translator was known for that. God took a person who was still immortalized for playwright and made him into one of the most powerful writers of the English translation of the book. And to prove it, back in those times, all authors used to stick their name in the book to prove that they're the ones that had something to do with the book when it was from a different name. William Shakespeare did that. Shakespeare was 46 years of age when he helped to translate the King James Version of the Bible in the Old Testament, dealing with Psalms. Go to Psalms 46.
Go well.
In the King James Version,
Uh-huh.
go to Psalms 46. That's why I needed my Bible. I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know how in the world the devil did that. But King James.
The show must go on though. King James. This is not King James.
No, that's okay.
Is this King James? This is not King James. This is King James.
I've got it here in the computer, but I don't want to take this screen off to show it to you.
This is a King James study Bible.
It should still be okay.
46 and what?
46 verse. If you count the first 46 words after the first chapter of the 46 of Psalms, you count 46 exact words, and it's going to end with the word shake. 46 words after the beginning of the first of Psalm
So you're
46.
talking about shake or
It should say shakes or shake. Find the word shakes in there. It's in that first.
yeah, it's in the third.
Third verse. All right, third verse. But if you count the words, Trinity, it's exactly 46 words from the first word. How old was he?
46,
What chapter is it?
3.
No,
A verse.
what
3.
chapter is it?
46.
46 chapter, 46 verse is the word shake. Now you go down to the last verse of the Bible. The last verse of that chapter.
Okay.
And you count 46 words backwards. It's okay. When you count 46 words backwards, it's going to end at the word spear.
Wow.
At the end of the
Yep, 46 and 9.
It makes the word.
Shakes and spear were in the 46th chapter, 46 words in, 46 words backward, so he can pin his name, and so he can let you know, I did write this particular version. He's the translator for Psalms and Proverbs.
You did your research.
Well, what was that?
Yeah.
Got me thinking of something else.
I told you there was going to be a change.
And that's
this year.
all they did back there in those days. Everything was hidden.
Everything was
hidden
hidden.
in something.
Everything was hidden. You're absolutely right. This is why we're now in the season for the revelation. I'm about to give you the part that's a little controversial again, but it's the still truth. And this is going to mess with some of the way that y'all teach.
What's the topic of this? It's the 7 kingdoms?
The 7 kingdoms. Go back to that sheet that I gave you. Let me see that sheet for a second. I want to teach on this just a couple minutes off the paper. If you look at the mystery of the Greek gods, these Greek gods I just told you are actually the spiritual witnesses in high places. The reason why you are supposed to believe that they're called myths is because Satan himself wants to be considered unreal.
Mm-hmm.
In one of my favorite movies, and I hope the Lord bring the name back to me. There was a movie where this guy made a statement. He says one of the best tricks of the devil is to convince people he don't exist. It was one of the best lines in that movie. It'll come to me what the name of the movie was. But that's the whole point now. 50% of Americans don't even believe there is a Satan. 50% of Christians. 80% of Americans. 50% of Christians don't believe there's a real Satan. That's one of the biggest lies from the book. And these are his imps.
all these names.
Those names. Take a look. One of the names down there. Look at the names that sound familiar. You've got Apollo down there.
Zeus.
Zeus, and all you see Zeus plus
Atlas.
Hera. Zeus plus, that means that Zeus had all these different women, which he had children from.
Mm-hmm.
The Mito.
Poseidon.
Mito.
Poseidon is the one that has the pitchfork.
Mm-hmm. All the water.
So,
Eris.
Wonder Woman Athena, she was one of them.
Yes.
Didn't Demeter
And by the way, Diana represents the spirit of feminism.
With the men being feminine.
Women being in charge. Remember, she came from an island. Do you know the name of the island that she actually came from in Greekdom? Do you know what the name was called? I got children here, but can I teach the truth?
Yes.
I'm asking you. The name of the island was called Lesbos. That's the name of the island that the women of Diana and the princesses of came from. The island of Lesbos in Greek. Greece has all these different islands. Lesbos is there today. They just changed the name. They changed the name in 1800. They didn't change it recently. I mean, they changed it recently. They didn't change it back in the time the Bible was written. It's still called that by the old Greeks. So, Diana is the spirit of feminism. Take a look at the one down in the very bottom, the bottom two. Hermes was a messenger of God to humans, an interpreter who bridges the boundaries with strangers in a place called Harmonious. Harmonious is where you get the Greek word hermeneutics, which is what we tell people how to interpret the Bible. Hermeneutics is Greek interpretation. It's not Bible interpretation. Thea, if you go to the very top of this paper, I talk about Thea. Thea is a name that the Greeks used to describe their religion because the Greeks didn't believe in religion. Isn't that interesting? The Greeks were not religious. They just had gods. They didn't have a belief system. I'm about to mess with some of y'all here right now. The Greeks spoke of the religious doers as Thea, which means having to do with God. The word theology means the study of God. So a person who's going to call a theologian is called a great studier of God. But the word theology does not appear in our Bible because God never said the word. The problem is we got a lot of people who have been well educated, but they have no belief. They've been well educated, but they don't have a belief. So you have people who are teaching the word with doctorate degrees, 4 and 5 doctorates, doctorates of theology. People even of the world, even Muslims and other folks say that theology is not of God. They're right. Theology is the study of God. It's not the knowledge of God. It means that you studied and know everything about what other gods did. But it didn't mean God of heaven. It meant studying God, period. But God didn't call you to be a theologian. He called you to be a believer.
Amen.
Because by belief, you show faith. By faith, you show the works of God. People are not convinced because you're a good studier. People are convinced by the works.
But one of these words down here, Herm, it's in the
Herm.
Herm.
Just about all of them are my
Every last one of them are come from.
Yeah, that's why
Just
for
about
some
all of
reason,
them
even
are.
when I wasn't saved, I just hated being at Mardi Gras. I mean, I would go with my friends, but it was just something, I didn't receive it. I was like, look at the floats. I would be like, throw me something, but I just felt
Throw you
strange.
what?
Like throw me something, mister. Throw me something.
Do you
You know, from little. And I mean, they threw the blooms, beads, all that stuff, but it just, I didn't feel right out there. I didn't feel right out there with all
That's
that
what.
stuff.
What about the faces, like the little thing, the little white
Masks,
masks
the
they
all
have
masks.
on
The mask
Mardi Gras.
also goes back to Greek.
Scream?
That's a big.
Sometimes they have it at parties.
The customary is to have you become
They got that on my
educated,
school wall.
but not a believer. The Bible said in the last days, knowledge will increase, and people will go to and fro. It never said anything that people becoming saved. You got people who are becoming very knowledgeable, but they have no belief. Which is the spirit that came from Dionysus during Greek time. If you look at Hermes, Hermes also is the name where you get the word Hermine, which means Greek god of luck. The word luck is not in the Bible at all. We, by definition, what's the first thing we say when somebody's getting ready to take a test or something? Good luck.
And I be telling people I don't believe in luck, but God's
Yeah, I
blessing.
be saying the
I
same
say,
thing.
give me God's
Everybody,
blessing.
We sometimes don't even realize we say it. Because it's become part of our what?
Habit.
Habits. So when I say good luck, you have literally just praised someone in another God.
I'm gonna tell you, Terry, I'm weird. I don't accept all that stuff. Some people think I'm crazy. I don't.
Well, they say Jesus was crazy.
People
So I
say
say, call me
crazy
crazy for Jesus. That's what I tell them.
You're not crazy.
And
You're
then,
peculiar.
then some people be like, they say some things like,
You don't have to hold that.
they tell me something like, what they say? Okay, be careful out there, or something like that. It's like, why? Why you say that?
What? Be careful. Be careful is a warning statement which says no God attached.
Yeah, I know.
But luck. Where do people go every day to go buy from a store?
Lottery tickets.
For the purpose of gaining